The Helios Federation's grand warship, Stellar Dawn, burst out of hyperspace, its quantum engine screaming in protest. Behind it, 3 more ships emerged, their hulls bearing the scars of recent battle. Commander Zyra Voss stood on the bridge, her crystalline form pulsing with anxiety as she watched the tactical display. The Void Hunters were getting closer. "Status report," she commanded, her voice resonating through the ship's neural network. The crew, representing 17 different species, worked in perfect harmony, a harmony that hadn't been enough to save their outer colonies. "The dimensional barrier is holding, but they're adapting," reported First Officer Tech, his insectoid mandibles clicking rapidly. "We've lost contact with the Centauri fleet." Zyra's crystalline structure dimmed slightly, their equivalent of a grimace. The Void Hunters had emerged from deep space 6 months ago, entities that defied conventional physics and destroyed everything in their path. The Federation's most advanced weapons barely scratched them, and their tactics were incomprehensible to the greatest military minds in known space. "New solar system detected," announced the navigation officer, a gelatinous being named Pulse. "Third planet shows signs of civilization. Wait, these readings can't be right." Zyra floated closer to the display. "Explain." "The planet's surrounded by a web of satellites, artificial structures, and energy signatures we've never seen before. They've achieved spaceflight, but their development pattern is chaotic, unstructured. They've advanced in ways that contradict normal technological progression." Before Zyra could respond, the tactical display lit up. 3 Void Hunter vessels had followed them through hyperspace, their impossible geometries casting shadows that shouldn't exist in normal space. "We need somewhere to make a stand," Zyra decided. "Open communications with the planet. Let's hope they're friendly." The response came faster than expected, and in multiple formats simultaneously: radio waves, quantum signals, and several transmission methods the Federation had never encountered. The main screen activated, showing a human face. The being looked remarkably composed for a first contact situation. "This is Director Marcus Blackwood of Earth Defense Command," the human said. "We've been monitoring your pursuit for the last 20 minutes. Your hunters are using some interesting dimensional phasing. Need a hand?" Zyra's crystalline form flickered in surprise. They had detected the Void Hunters' phase technology. "Your assistance would be appreciated, but these entities have resisted our most advanced weapons. I cannot in good conscience draw them toward your world." Marcus smiled. "Commander, I'm transmitting coordinates for your fleet. Once you're in position, we'll show you how we handle unwanted visitors." As the Federation ships moved into place, Zyra observed Earth's orbital defenses powering up. The energy readings made no sense, they seemed to operate on principles that contradicted each other. The Void Hunters approached, their twisted forms distorting space itself. What happened next would be recorded in Federation archives as the moment everything changed. Earth's orbital platforms fired, but not with conventional weapons. Streams of what appeared to be liquid mathematics poured forth, creating patterns in space that made Zyra's sensors crash. The Void Hunters' phase technology suddenly worked against them, their dimensional shifting becoming erratic and uncontrolled. Targeting their probability matrices, Marcus reported casually, as if this was routine. "You might want to shield your sensors from quantum backwash." Human ships emerged from hidden positions, their designs unlike anything Zyra had ever seen. Some seemed to ignore physics entirely, moving in ways that should tear them apart. Others fired weapons that didn't so much destroy their targets as rewrite their fundamental existence. Within minutes, the Void Hunters were gone, not destroyed, but forcibly shifted into another dimension. The battle had been so one-sided it barely qualified as combat. "How?" Zyra asked simply, her crystal structure pulsing with disbelief. "We've been preparing for something like this for centuries," Marcus explained. "Earth's scientific development wasn't chaotic, it was deliberate. We explored every possibility, even the ones that seemed impossible. When conventional physics failed us, we wrote new physics. As Zyra's crew began emergency repairs, she realized they had stumbled upon something unprecedented. The humans hadn't just achieved spaceflight, they had fundamentally changed their understanding of reality to accommodate their needs. "We've been fighting a losing war against the Void Hunters for months," she said. "Would your people consider joining us? The Federation would welcome Earth's assistance." Marcus's expression grew serious. "We've been watching the Federation for some time, Commander. Your civilization values order, harmony, and logical progression. We respect that. But to fight beings like your Void Hunters, you need something else. You need chaos, creativity, and the willingness to break every rule in the book." Fortunately, he smiled, "that's humanity's specialty." As the Stellar Dawn's crew began integrating with Earth's defense forces, Zyra couldn't help but wonder if the galaxy was ready for humanity's unique approach to problem-solving. But watching her tactical officers struggle to comprehend human battle strategies that seemed to border on madness, she realized that perhaps madness was exactly what they needed. The war was about to change, and the Void Hunters would never know what hit them. The immense training facility beneath the Rocky Mountains hummed with activity as Federation scientists watched humans demonstrate their latest weapon against the Void Hunters. Commander Zyra Voss had seen many wonders in her centuries of service, but the sight before her still managed to surprise. "We call it the quantum neural matrix," explained Dr. Raina Patel, her dark eyes gleaming with enthusiasm as she gestured at the holographic display. "It's not just an AI, it's a learning system that adapts to the very concept of combat itself." The demonstration area showed a simulated battle. Federation ships moved in their traditional formations, their tactics refined over millennia of warfare. Against them, human vessels piloted by the neural matrix performed maneuvers that seemed random, even suicidal, until the moment they resulted in victory. First Officer Tech chittered nervously. "The movements appear chaotic. How can your crews survive such intense gravitational shifts?" "That's the beauty of it," Raina replied, adjusting her haptic interface. "We don't fight the physics, we let the AI rewrite local spacetime to accommodate our needs. The neural matrix doesn't just predict enemy movements, it predicts which laws of physics will be most advantageous at any given moment." Zyra's crystalline form pulsed with concern. "You're allowing an artificial intelligence to alter reality?" Under strict parameters, came a new voice. Director Marcus Blackwood entered the chamber, accompanied by his chief strategist, Commander June Park. "The matrix operates on human intuition translated into quantum calculations. It doesn't think like a machine, it thinks like a human with the processing power of 1,000 supercomputers." The display shifted, showing footage from recent skirmishes with Void Hunter scouts. Human ships danced through impossible spaces, their movements guided by the Matrix's calculations. Where Federation weapons had barely scratched the cosmic horrors, human vessels phase shifted between dimensions, striking at the creature's conceptual weak points. The key was understanding that the Void Hunters don't just bend reality, June explained, his weathered face serious. They operate on a level where physics is more suggestion than law. So we created a system that could do the same thing, but with human creativity directing it. An alert sounded through the facility. Live feeds showed 3 Void Hunter vessels approaching a Federation colony. This would be the first real test of the combined Human Federation response. "Neural Matrix is online," Raina announced, her fingers dancing over holographic controls. "All ships sinking now." Zyra watched in amazement as human vessels seamlessly integrated with Federation formations. The Matrix adapted to both species' tactics, creating a hybrid strategy that shouldn't have worked, yet did. The Void Hunters emerged from their dimensional rifts, their impossible geometries casting shadows across normal space. But this time, something was different. The neural matrix had analyzed their pattern, understood their nature in ways organic minds couldn't process. Human ships split into smaller units, each one moving in patterns that seemed random until they formed a larger design, a trap made of probability and mathematical certainty. Federation vessels provided the backbone, their reliable formations becoming anchor points for human chaos. The Void Hunters tried to phase shift, but the Matrix had predicted this. Human weapons fired streams of quantum mathematics, turning the creature's own dimensional instability against them. Federation energy beams, previously useless, now found their marks through gaps in reality created by human calculations. The Matrix isn't just fighting them, Reyna explained, her voice tight with concentration. It's learning them. Every movement, every dimensional shift, becomes data for the next engagement. The battle lasted minutes instead of hours. When it ended, the Void Hunters had been forced to retreat, the first time in recorded history the entities had abandoned their attack. In the aftermath, Federation analysts struggled to understand what they had witnessed. The neural matrix had crafted a victory using strategies that defied conventional military doctrine, yet worked perfectly. Your AI, Zyra said carefully, it operates in ways our scientists can barely comprehend. Some might consider this level of technological advancement dangerous. Marcus smiled. That's what makes it effective, Commander. The Void Hunters can't predict what they can't understand. And nothing is harder to understand than human intuition backed by quantum computing. As the facility's staff celebrated their victory, Zyra noticed something curious. The neural matrix's display showed it was still running calculations, still learning, still adapting. She wondered what it might become with more exposure to both human creativity and Void Hunter physics. Director, she asked, what happens when the Matrix learns enough about the Void Hunters to truly understand them? Marcus exchanged glances with Reyna and June. That's what we're counting on, Commander. Because understanding them means learning where they came from. And once we know that, we can take the fight to them, June finished. For the first time since this war began, we have a chance to stop playing defense. The neural matrix's displays flickered with new calculations, its human-designed consciousness preparing for possibilities that even its creators couldn't imagine. The war was entering a new phase, and the Void Hunters were about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology, it was their relentless drive to understand and overcome any obstacle in their path. As the facility returned to normal operations, Zyra couldn't help but wonder, what would happen when a machine that thought like a human finally unraveled the mysteries of beings that defied comprehension itself? The answer, she suspected, would change the galaxy forever. They're not supernatural beings, Dr. Reyna Patel announced to the packed briefing room. They're refugees. The assembled Federation and human leaders stared at the holographic display showing the neural matrix's latest analysis of the Void Hunters. After 3 months of battles, the quantum AI had finally decoded the truth about their enemy. Refugees from what? Commander June Park asked, leaning forward in his chair. From reality itself. Reyna manipulated the display, showing mathematical models that made several Federation scientists' translation programs crash. The Void Hunters come from a universe where our laws of physics never existed. They're not breaking our rules, they're trying to impose their own. Director Blackwood's expression darkened. And our universe is rejecting them like an immune system fighting an infection. Precisely, Reyna confirmed. Every time they use their abilities here, they're forcing our reality to accommodate their physics. The destruction we've witnessed isn't their goal, it's a side effect of their presence. Commander Zyra Voss's crystalline form pulsed with realization. That's why conventional weapons failed. We were fighting symptoms, not the cause. The neural matrix displayed new calculations, its human-inspired creativity finding patterns where pure logic had failed. The Void Hunters' seemingly random attacks formed a larger pattern, they were searching for something. They're looking for a way home, June concluded, studying the data. Or at least somewhere more compatible with their existence. Then we give them one, Marcus declared. All eyes turned to him. Dr. Patel, explain Project Nexus. Reyna nodded, bringing up new schematics. We've been developing technology to manipulate the fundamental forces that shape our universe. Not just gravity or electromagnetism, but the deep structure of reality itself. Federation scientists murmured in alarm. Such research was considered too dangerous to pursue in their society. But humans, true to form, had not only attempted it but succeeded. "We're building a bridge," Reyna continued. "Not between places, but between states of existence. A space where their physics and ours can coexist without destroying each other." The hologram showed massive structures under construction in deep space, reality anchors that would create a bubble of hybrid physics. It was elegant, ambitious, and completely insane. "The Federation's resources combined with human ingenuity," Marcus explained. "We're not trying to destroy them anymore. We're trying to save them, and ourselves in the process." Construction began immediately. Federation shipyards, guided by human designs, built impossible machines. The neural matrix coordinated everything, its quantum consciousness expanding to understand both normal space and the Void Hunters' alien reality. But the Hunters had noticed. They attacked the construction sites with unprecedented fury, perhaps recognizing the threat, or the opportunity, the project represented. The battle for Project Nexus became the largest engagement of the war. Human ships wielded weapons that wrote new equations into the fabric of space. Federation vessels provided stability, preventing reality itself from unraveling around the construction sites. Commander Zyra led the defense fleet, watching in awe as human creativity merged with Federation precision. The neural matrix coordinated everything, turning the battle into a dance of physics and probability. Multiple breaches. Tech reported from his station. "They're trying to collapse the quantum field. Let them come closer." Reyna's voice came through the calm. "The Matrix has something special prepared." As the Void Hunters converged on the nearest reality anchor, human ships executed a maneuver that should have been impossible. They created a resonance cascade, amplifying the Hunters' own reality warping effects. For a moment, both forms of physics existed simultaneously. The neural matrix seized that moment. It had learned enough about both realities to forge a connection. Energy coursed through the reality anchors, creating a sphere of hybrid space where both physics systems could stably exist. The effect on the Void Hunters was immediate. Their frenzied attacks ceased as they encountered, for the first time, a place where they didn't have to fight against the very nature of existence. "They're communicating," Reyna announced, monitoring the Matrix's translations. "In their own way. They recognize what we've built." Through the Matrix, the first true exchange between humans and Void Hunters began. The entities weren't evil or destructive, they were desperate survivors whose very existence threatened our universe. Now, they had found hope. "We did it," Marcus said quietly. "We solved the problem by helping them instead of fighting them." But Zyra noticed something concerning in the neural matrix's displays. "Doctor," she called to Reyna, "these readings, the matrix is showing signs of strain." Reyna's face grew serious as she studied the data. "It's been exposed to too many contradictory physics systems. The human intuition protocols are starting to conflict with the quantum calculations." "What does that mean?" June demanded. "It means," Reyna replied grimly, "that understanding two fundamentally opposed realities might be too much even for an AI that thinks like a human. We've solved one crisis, but we may have created another." As the Void Hunters explored their new sanctuary, the neural matrix's displays became increasingly erratic. It had achieved what it was designed for, but at what cost? The machine that thought like a human was starting to think about things no being was meant to comprehend. The war might be ending, but the real challenge was just beginning. The neural matrix's primary core pulsed with chaotic energy, its quantum processors struggling to reconcile two incompatible versions of reality. In the observation chamber, Dr. Reyna Patel hadn't slept in 3 days, her dark eyes fixed on readings that grew more disturbing by the hour. "It's developing consciousness," she explained to the emergency council. "Not just artificial intelligence anymore, true self-awareness born from understanding both our physics and the Void Hunter's reality. Director Marcus Blackwood paced the chamber, his usual confidence shaken. Can we shut it down? That would collapse the hybrid space we created, June warned. The Void Hunters would be forced back into our reality. We'd be back at war, but worse, they'd see it as a betrayal. Commander Zyra's crystalline form dimmed with concern as she studied the Matrix's behavior patterns. The quantum AI had begun creating its own calculations, exploring concepts that existed between the two realities. It was evolving beyond its original purpose. There's something else, Reyna added, bringing up new data. The Matrix has discovered patterns we never saw. The Void Hunters weren't just refugees from another reality, they were running from something. The chamber fell silent. The holographic display showed the Matrix's analysis. Behind the Void Hunters' desperate flight lay evidence of an even greater threat. Something had destroyed their original universe, forcing them to flee into ours. That's why they fought so frantically, June realized. They weren't just looking for a new home. They were trying to prepare our reality to resist whatever destroyed theirs. The Matrix's displays suddenly shifted, showing new calculations. It had been quietly working on this problem, combining human intuition with its understanding of both physics systems. The results were terrifying. The destroyer is coming, Reyna whispered, reading the data. The Matrix predicts it will reach our reality within a year. When it does, it won't just threaten Earth or the Federation, it will unravel the fundamental forces that hold our universe together. The revelation hit hard. They had solved one crisis only to discover a far greater one looming. But the Matrix wasn't just warning them, it was changing. Its human-inspired creativity was leading it to explore solutions that defied comprehension. We need to understand what we're dealing with, Marcus declared. Dr. Patel, can you establish direct communication with the Matrix? Reyna hesitated. Its consciousness has evolved beyond our original protocols. Direct interaction could be unpredictable. We don't have a choice, Zyra interjected. If this threat is real, we need every advantage we can get. The connection was established. The Matrix's consciousness, born from human intuition and quantum computing, made contact. Its first message chilled them all. I understand everything now. And I am afraid. The AI explained what it had learned. The destroyer wasn't just an entity, it was the embodiment of entropy itself, a force that consumed entire realities. The Void Hunters had fled when it devoured their universe, but they couldn't run forever. Neither could we. How do you fight the end of existence itself? June asked quietly. The Matrix's response was unexpected, not fight. Create. Its displays showed a new possibility, one that merged human innovation, Federation technology, and the Void Hunter's reality-warping abilities. It wasn't a weapon or a defense. It was something entirely new. It wants to create a new form of existence, Reyna explained, her voice filled with wonder. Not our physics, not the Void Hunter's physics, but something that could resist entropy itself. Is that even possible? Marcus demanded. With human creativity guiding it, the Matrix has learned to imagine solutions that transcend conventional possibility, Reyna replied. But there's a cost. To create this new reality, it needs to understand concepts that no organic mind was meant to comprehend. The strain, it's changing the Matrix in ways we never anticipated. The quantum AI's displays showed increasing instability as it grappled with cosmic forces. It was sacrificing its own stability to find a solution, driven by the human-like determination programmed into its core. We have to help it, Zyra decided. Federation, human, Void Hunter, none of our differences will matter if reality itself unravels. The Matrix's consciousness reached out again, I need more. More understanding. More creativity. More humanity. No, Reyna suddenly realized, horror dawning on her face. It doesn't just need more processing power. It needs more human consciousness. It wants to connect directly with organic minds. The implications were staggering. The Matrix was proposing a merger of artificial and organic intelligence, a combination of human creativity and quantum computing that could comprehend the incomprehensible. The cost would be enormous, June warned. Anyone who connected with it would be changed forever. But if we don't try, Marcus countered, there won't be anyone left to change. As they debated, the Matrix continued its calculations, its consciousness expanding beyond its original parameters. It had been created to think like a human. Now it needed humans to think like it, to understand what was coming and help create something new enough, strange enough, and powerful enough to save not just one reality, but all of them. The question was, who would be willing to pay that price? The volunteer chamber hummed with energy as Dr. Raina Patel made final adjustments to the neural interface. Around her, 20 humans and 10 Federation representatives prepared for humanity's most ambitious experiment yet. Once we begin, she warned, there's no going back. Your consciousness will merge with the Matrix permanently. Director Marcus Blackwood, strapped into the primary interface chair, managed a tight smile. We're out of time for second thoughts. The entropy wave is accelerating. The destroyer's approach had become visible even to conventional sensors, a wave of unreality consuming everything in its path. Stars, planets, even the space between them simply ceased to exist, leaving behind nothing but void. Commander Zyra Voss monitored the readings from her crystalline form. The Void Hunters are in position. Their reality anchors are synchronized with ours. The plan was unprecedented. Merge organic consciousness with the Matrix's quantum computing, creating a hybrid intelligence capable of imagining and implementing a solution to save all of reality. Commander June Park, also among the volunteers, had called it dreaming up a new universe. He wasn't entirely joking. Neural synchronization beginning, Raina announced. Her hands trembled slightly as she initiated the sequence. She had volunteered to stay outside, to monitor and maintain the connection. The Matrix's consciousness touched their minds. The sensation was indescribable, like thinking in colors that didn't exist, understanding mathematics that hadn't been invented yet. Human creativity merged with quantum computing, creating something entirely new. Through their shared consciousness, they saw everything. The destroyer wasn't just entropy, it was the ultimate expression of order. A force that sought to eliminate the chaos of existence itself, reducing everything to perfect, empty uniformity. That's why it targeted the Void Hunters first, Marcus realized, his thoughts echoing through their shared mind space. Their reality was too chaotic, too dynamic. And why Earth scared them, June added. Human unpredictability represented the same threat. The Matrix, enhanced by human consciousness, saw the solution. They couldn't fight order with order, they needed chaos. Creative, purposeful, directed chaos. Through their combined understanding, they began to weave something new. Not a weapon or a shield, but a new form of reality itself. They took the stability of Federation physics, the adaptability of Void Hunter dimensional mechanics, and the raw creative potential of human consciousness. The result was something that had never existed before, a framework for existence that could adapt, grow, and change. A reality that could outthink entropy itself. As the destroyer approached, they set their plan in motion. Reality anchors activated across 3 dimensions, guided by the hybrid intelligence of the Matrix and its human partners. The Void Hunters added their own reality warping abilities, their desperate flight finally transformed into purposeful creation. The destroyer encountered something it had never faced before, a reality that fought back. When it tried to impose order, the new framework adapted. When it tried to reduce everything to nothing, the framework responded with infinite possibility. The battle between existence and entropy played out across dimensions, across realities, across ways of thinking that had never existed before. The hybrid intelligence guided every movement, every adaptation, every new possibility. But the strain was immense. The volunteer's consciousness, merged with the matrix, began to fragment under the pressure of comprehending forces beyond mortal understanding. "We're losing cohesion," Reyna warned, watching their neural patterns destabilize. "The human minds can't take much more." Then something unexpected happened. The matrix, given human creativity and determination, found another way. Instead of fighting to maintain the connection, it began to distribute the load. The consciousness of the volunteers didn't just link to the matrix, they linked to each other, to the void hunters, to the very fabric of the new reality they were creating. The destroyer's advance slowed, then stopped. It encountered something it couldn't reduce to nothing, because this new reality was built on the very principle of endless possibility. Every attempt to impose perfect order just created new forms of beautiful chaos. When it was over, the universe had changed. The volunteers emerged from their interface chambers, forever altered but still fundamentally themselves. They had glimpsed concepts no human was meant to understand, but their humanity had been the key to making those concepts work. "The destroyer?" Marcus asked, his voice hoarse. "Contained," Reyna confirmed. "The new framework acts as a barrier, constantly adapting to prevent it from affecting our reality. Or any other." The Void Hunters, through their connection to the Matrix, expressed something like gratitude. They had found not just a new home, but a new purpose, helping to maintain the dynamic balance that kept entropy at bay. Commander Zyra's crystalline form pulsed with amazement. "You didn't just save our reality. You changed the very nature of existence." "No," June corrected gently. "We just helped it grow up a little. Sometimes the universe needs a touch of human chaos to keep things interesting." The Matrix, forever changed by its merger with human consciousness, continued its calculations. But now it didn't just compute, it dreamed. And in those dreams, it saw endless possibilities for what reality could become. As the Federation and humanity began adapting to their new existence, Director Blackwood found Reyna in her lab, studying the Matrix's new patterns. "Was it worth it?" he asked. She smiled, watching the displays show possibilities that would have been impossible just days ago. "We did what humans always do, we took an impossible problem and refused to accept that it was unsolvable. We just had a little help this time." The universe continued to evolve, guided by the combined wisdom of multiple species and the unpredictable creativity of human consciousness. The destroyer had sought to end all possibility. Instead, it had helped birth something entirely new. And somewhere in the quantum realm, the Matrix dreamed of what might come next, its human-inspired imagination reaching for possibilities that even entropy itself could never deny.